French writer Victor Hugo once said, "Music expresses that which cannot be said and on which it is impossible to be silent." Today's topic, you need a soundtrack, on this week's episode of Real Life Talks with Brandon. Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode here at Real Life Talks with Brandon. My name is Brandon, so good to see you guys again. Hope you had a great week, a great time these past 2 weeks. Seems like we're doing a bi-weekly episode each time, so why not keep going with the trend? So we'll keep going along with an episode every 2 weeks, but also we're excited to announce that we are now on YouTube. So we've been getting a lot of requests to put our episodes on YouTube, so if you have YouTube, which I hope you do, go check us out. Real Life Talks with Brandon is now on YouTube. It's not a video, it's still the podcast, but we just wanted to upload the episodes there too, so now we have another outlet for you to check us out. But it's so good to be back for another episode, and today we're going to talk about one of my favorite things, and if you know me, I just love music. My life basically revolves around music. I've been a product of music for God knows how long. I can play the drums, I can play the piano, I learned the violin for a summer. I did a jazz camp for like multiple years as a kid. I've been in band. Of course, I love doing karaoke and things like that. So music basically is in my veins, and just not a day goes by that I don't purposefully listen to music. There's a difference between listening to music and purposely listening to music, because I don't think my day can start unless I listen to, a song that might be on my mind or something that gets the day going. And the reason why I kind of thought, this would be a great episode was, I think it was about last week. I was meeting my boss, getting ready to come into work. And she's a total Swiftie. If anybody out there loves Taylor Swift, this moment might be for you, but she absolutely loves Taylor Swift. She is a total Swiftie fan, and I love Taylor Swift too. I kind of like older Taylor Swift than I do the new Taylor Swift, but that's not the point. She was like, you got to listen to this song. So she gave me her earphones, and she put on this song, and this is a clean show. I got to keep it clean. The title is different, but I got to keep it clean. But if you're a Swiftie, you probably know the title when I say it. But she had me listen to this song called Vigilante-ish, and that's not the second word. You know what the second word is, so use your mind for that one and go from there. But she had me listen to this song, and I haven't heard it before. I haven't really heard a lot of the new Taylor stuff. So I was listening to it, and I was like, man, okay, I can get behind this. This is good. And she's talking about how she's dressing for revenge, and she doesn't start it, but she'll finish it. And I was like, okay, I can get behind this. This is a bop. So I was listening to it as we were walking to work and walking to our next destination. And then later in the day, I remember I was working on something, one of the projects we were working on, and I felt like, man, I need something to kind of get me through this. It's not bad. It's just I need a little oomph in the day. It was like midday through. Day's almost done, but I need a little pick me up. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to listen to that song again. So I pulled it up, and I started playing it, and it kind of pushed me to get it done. It's like, yeah, I got this. I may not have started it, but I'm going to finish it. And the title of today's episode is called You Need a Soundtrack, because sometimes I believe we need a soundtrack. We need something that pushes us, or we need something that we can capture in the moment. I mean, as soon as I say Indiana Jones, you automatically can hear the theme song. Dun, 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 dun. You can automatically hear it. And there's been so many movies and TV shows that we can think of the theme song for that show. Or there's been movies where there's been a dramatic moment, and all of a sudden we can just hear the pulse pounding music, maybe of an action movie, or that romantic moment. And we jokingly, those movies, those videos that are online, and we automatically assume it's some sleazy jazz song, and we automatically have the soundtrack for it, or a meme. There's so many memes out there now that are songs, and just everything basically has a soundtrack But the real question I want to ask is, what's your soundtrack? What does your soundtrack sound like? I know I have plenty of soundtracks. I was just talking to somebody a couple weeks ago where I have a song where if I'm not happy, if I'm a little upset, I'm a little mad, there's a song. It's 6 foot 7 foot by, I think it's not Lil Wayne, is it? It's Lil Wayne, 6 foot 7 foot. And that's the song I just go to when I need y'all to go away for a moment. I need a moment. I need to breathe. I need to let the anger vent somewhere that's not going to get me in jail. So that's the song I listen to, and I tell people, if you hear that song, give me a moment. I'll be fine, I promise you. Just let me be. And that's the song for that moment. There's been moments where, when you catch a feeling, one of my favorite catch a feeling songs is Gravity by Sarah Bareilles, and I'm just like, oh, like that song does not make me cry, like especially when she hits that high note in the song. Listen to that song, it's a great song. And just when you're in your feels and you're having a moment, that is such a powerful, great song to just listen to, and to hear somebody sing it with just the compassion, just okay, I digress, moving on. But as you can see, there's just so many songs and so many emotions that it convey that just, I'm sure you have a song. But also the great thing about songs is that they also help tell the story. Could you imagine a movie without a soundtrack? Could you imagine the most pulse-pounding moment in a movie where the action's really going, and whether it be a car chase or it be a fight or it just be some kind of action, and it's silent? Like that moment right there. You see how that was just awkward? Just, there's nothing there. There's got to be something that drives the moment. There's got to be something that drives you. What is your song? What is the exact song you can say that this defines either who I am or it defines the moment that I'm in? Some of you could probably say "Eye of the Tiger," Survivor. I don't know why that just came to mind, but it's the Eye of the Tiger. It's the thrill of that's that moment where we all know that moment. It's in Rocky, or better yet, the where that song right there where he's running up the steps and he's getting ready for his fight, and automatically when you hear that song, it makes you want to throw up your fists and start you start want to throw up punches because you're ready to tackle things. I have so many songs and so many moments. I am a Christian. I am keen on Jesus, as Mr. Burns says in The Simpsons. But there's some moments where if things are good, I'll put on some bopping worship music, or if things are just rough, I'll put on some powerful worship music, and I'll just sit there and just get soaked in the moment and I can hear in those words what other song it could be, that it simply tells me that just this moment shall pass and you will be all right. There's moments when I'm going to bed and I just want to be peaceful in bed. I'll turn on atmospheric music. I am a big fan of listening to the Hertz music, like Spiritual Detox, and I'll pull it up right now even. I usually listen to Miracle Tones and Solfeggio healing frequencies, like 741 Hertz is a great thing. Or this is a meme. Are y'all ready? This is a meme. It's this song, Aquatic Ambience, or Ambiance. If you are familiar with the Donkey Kong video game series, we, as children of the 90s, know that song wholeheartedly, but it just recently came back out by a group by the name of Sizzle, or Sizzly. Sizzy, SCIZZIE. But whenever we hear that song, we can go back to the time when we were either one, playing that game, or two, can go back to our childhood. That's the meme on TikTok right now where that song plays, and it's just all these pictures of, do you remember this from your childhood? And I do, and I go back to simpler times of when I was a kid, and I would stay up late at night playing Donkey Kong, and I can tell you, I was playing Donkey Kong, and whenever I was done playing Donkey Kong, I would throw in a tape of the Muppet Babies and just watch the same episode over and over, and then go back to Donkey Kong. I don't get it. I don't know why. I was a kid. I was simple. All right. But as you can see, music drives powerful emotions. It tells powerful stories, and it's just the integral backbone of so many things in life, whether it be a story or a moment. I work in a position right now where just a few years back, I was like, man, you know what would make these experiences really great? Is if we added music, if we added a soundtrack that is, and you just can't add any soundtrack, it's got to be to the story. And it's got to drive the moment. If you're expecting them to have a high moment, you got to have high music. If it's a subtle moment, then you have to have a low music. You can't miscombobulate the music. And that's why I'm going to wrap this all in and bring this all in, because it's been a lot about the backbone, but what if it's the forefront? What if music, what if there was a song that could tell your story? And if you don't have it yet, I challenge you to go find it. I'm still looking for it, as a matter of fact. I can't tell you one specific song, and that's the thing. It's not going to be one specific song. There could be multiple songs that could tell multiple chapters of your life. There's so many songs out there that you can pull and say, you know what? This talks about my particular chapter. I've had so many songs that talk about who I am as a person. And you're probably wondering, well, Brandon, let's hear some of them. That's the problem. I already told you some. I told you when I'm angry. I told you when I'm in my feels and all that stuff. But the list was so long that I don't have time. I don't have time. I could tell you one. That makes me feel great, and it's another video game. As you can tell, I'm a video game person. Dearly Beloved from the Kingdom Hearts series. I love that video game series with a passion. But if you were to hear that song, first of all, it brings you back to Kingdom Hearts, but also that song just makes you feel like, you know, I see myself sitting on a cliff, and I can see the horizon. I see the water, and I see the sun, and I see just things that have happened, but also things that are to come. And that the fact that, you know what, I made it through all the stuff that happened. And you know what, I feel like I can take on the stuff that's about to head my way. So what is your song? What is it that simply says who you are? So how do you find it? Let me go there. How do we find that song? The thing is, sometimes you don't have to go looking for it. It's happened plenty of times where you're just sitting and a song comes on and you feel deep down in your jellies like, oh, you know, this is, I can dig with this. I can mess with this. This is who I'm feeling right now in this moment. There's so many songs like that. Sometimes we do have to go looking for it. Sometimes we're like, okay, what kind of song could, like, if you're having a party, you know, sometimes you gotta find me and my friends, we just mess around recently. We're talking about songs that you can play at the cookout. Not every song gets to play at the cookout. There are certain songs that you're like, you know what? That's the cookout song. That song is what provides the party. It raises the mood. It hypens the atmosphere. And there are some songs that you're like, you know, they're good, but there are songs that are classics, like weddings. Like, the funny thing is that every wedding has to have the chicken dance. Why? Only God knows why. But it has to have the chicken dance because it's become a cultural meme, joke, fun thing that you just have to have the chicken dance. And even though as much as we painfully go, oh God, no, we don't. As soon as it comes on, and we start doing the hand motions, and it starts going like, you know what? Okay, fine. You know what? It's funny. It happens. But there's been songs of generations. Every decade has its song that people have heard multiple times, and every time we hear it, we can still. The Macarena was the song of the '90s. We can still definitely do that. And there's just been so many songs out there that we can culturally identify with, but there are songs that we can also personally identify with. So that's your homework this week. If you don't have one yet, it's time to find your song. Or maybe your song hasn't been written yet and maybe you're a songwriter. If you're listening to this and you write songs, there's been so many people that have written songs about their life and it tells their story. And maybe it's time for you to write your song. It's time for you to put it on paper. Something's been burning in your heart to write a song. And now's the time to do it. Brandon, I don't have the means to do it. Well, maybe there's somebody out there that can help you. Maybe it's just your part to write down the words, and it's their part to write the music to it. That is a whole lesson in itself that I don't have time for. This might be a part 2 where you know, there's been so many people in our lives that can help you write the song, that your part is just to write the words and their part is to write the music. There's somebody else's part to bring the instruments and somebody else's part just to conduct it and bring it all together. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe your life is just the song right there. But the question is, what is your song? And I believe that everybody needs a soundtrack. We need something that tells who we are, what we've been through, what we've endured. We need a song that simply says, "This is me." I remember when I was sitting in the theater and The Greatest Showman, Hugh Jackman, Zac Efron, Zendaya, was released. And we've all heard the song, "This Is Me." We've all heard it before. And I remember, I think they did a promo of it. They didn't do the whole song, but did a promo of it. I was like, oh man, this is going to be a good movie. But I remember sitting in the theater and seeing that scene for the first time ever. And I was no good. I remember just tears just scrolling down my face. Strolling, whatever you want to call it. Strolling down my face. And I remember, yeah, that's it. That's a chapter of my life right there. This is me. This is who I am. I am unapologetically me. Am I a weirdo sometimes? Yes. Yes, I am. And I don't care, because that is who I am. That's what makes me uniquely me. I'm a nerd. I love having a good time, whether it's just being a goofball or just going out with friends, you name it. But this is me, and there is nobody else who can say otherwise. And that, my friends, is how you find your song in that moment where something clicks and snaps and says, you know what? That is who I am. This is me. The song ironically called "This Is Me." This is me. So now it's time for you to go find your song. It's time for you to get out there. It's time for you to go and just listen to music. If you got to listen to music all day long, I encourage that. I love doing that. I love listening to music all day long. I had music on while I was getting ready to do the episode. It kind of helped set the mood and it helped set the tone. It wasn't real pulse pounding music. It was just soft, atmospheric music to help me get. That's the thing. Music can also help you get in the right headspace. Like I said, I have time to get. This might be part 2. All right. Let me bring it back in. This is your week to go find your song. Whether you have to write it, whether you have to go listen to it, music is out there. It's everywhere. It is so infinite how much music there is out there that you wouldn't have time, I think, in this entire lifetime, your entire lifetime, to listen to every single song that is out there. But it's crazy how with all that music, there are just a few songs that you can pluck and snatch out of the air and say, you know what? This is my song. This is my jam. This is who I am. This speaks to me in volumes. So, go out there, find your song, and you know what? Tell the world. Tell the world. Just pull your best friend aside, like, hey, I need you to hear this. Like, doesn't this describe me? Isn't this who I am? Like, listen to this. Doesn't this relate to my story? Does this relate to the moment that I'm in right now? Doesn't this relate to it? And then the conversations can begin. Like, oh yeah, this totally is you. Like, and the conversation, like, and then it'll encourage them and challenge them to find their song. And then you can hear their story, and you can hear what they're all about. And you're like, you know what? That is who you are. That is your story. And you just begin to have a relatable moment on so many different levels. So that's why you need a soundtrack. Everybody needs a soundtrack that just speaks to them in that moment. So, whether it's vigilante-ish, or if it's 6 foot, 7 foot, or if it's The Greatest Showman, This Is Me, there's so many songs out there that can tell your story. And that is why you, my friend, you need a soundtrack. So that is it for this week. I hope there's a song out there that speaks to you so greatly that you put that song on blast and you repeat it till you're sick of hearing it, and then you grab somebody else and let them hear it over and over again until they're saying, please stop. We get it. We got it. We get it. Oh my goodness. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you spend today, tomorrow, all week long, or until next time, just listening to every single song that's out there and just having yourself a good old time. And you know what? Dance. Go and have yourself a little dance party too. Dance like nobody's watching. Dance whether people are there or not. And just put your headphones on while you're walking down the street and just get in the moment and enjoy it. So until next time, my friends, find yourself that soundtrack. Whether it's one song or a whole album, it's your time to find out your story through music. Make sure to go on Facebook, see when our next episode comes out, start some conversation on there as well. We're trying to do some weekly conversations as well to get some conversation floating, some dialogue floating. So yeah, definitely. Also, if you have a topic, you have a comment or anything like that, you just want to reach out, you can reach out at kid.beach@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Definitely, if you have any questions as well, we wouldn't mind answering them live on air as well. So definitely do that. And of course, don't forget, like I said earlier, we are on not Facebook, sorry, we are on Facebook, but we're on YouTube as well. So another way you can listen to our episodes, whether you're at home or on the go. Thank you so much for listening. I love you all. There's nothing you can do about that. And don't forget, you are an amazing, incredible human being. And this has been a Real Life Talk. See you next time. Bye-bye.